I, this the fence we have been working on, and still on the school property. We have both inside and outside is school property, and we believe that in the future we'll have development done on the same ground. Initially we fenced straight here because the land did not belong to us. It was another person's property until we purchased it. We did the purchase of the land, did all the survey work, and we got the title deed in the name of Petals Africa School. And now this fence is not bound to stick here. It can extend going to the upper land. But we believe, because we have to work within the perimeter that we can manage, still on the same land we are doing some agricultural work. Though this time we had just harvested, and we'll do the planting next time when we have funds to do the agricultural work. We have just the road coming all the way from Migori, which is our nearest town, and this road is the road that was done by Richard Dick Smith, and he really helped us. Now teachers that are coming from this direction and the pupils can get access to the school. On my left is the office. The office is the only construction that was put in place by our friends who left and started a school in Nairobi. They did the office only, and then we picked up and started the work of the rest of the buildings that we have in school. Some of our friends donated for us playing equipments for the pupils. We have the slide and the weighing beam. We have the swings. All these were donated by some of the friends that saw the sense of having pupils at Petals enjoy the same things that people get elsewhere. And this is something we have to be very, very grateful for. We had a basketball ring that was donated by Richard Dick Smith when he came over. We have been playing, children have been having some balls to play with on the same ground we have the field that they are playing on. And these balls are donated by friends who have been really doing us great things. Initially, before, the children were playing with clothes. They tied them with the rope, and then they could play. But our friends who came over and saw the necessity of having a ball donated some balls, and the pupils are able to get something to play with. Just right on the field where we are, initially, before we could get this field, next to where we have the water pump, and I cannot leave this place without showing you the water pump. We had a bowl that was constructed after the other one that we saw down there failed, and it could not work for us effectively. God gave us way, and we now have the water pump, and we have the borehole that is not drying at any given time. It has never disappointed us, even in the past years that we have been using it. Next to the borehole, we had a very big hill. There was an ant hill that was so big here. In the first pictures of Petals, whoever might have come across it could see that there were some big hills here. And we could do away with the ant hill. And on my right here, I dug to get some bricks. I just dig the soil, dug it, and mixed the soil to make some more bricks to help us have the house that we have down there, because we wanted to have a dining hall for the children and the dining hall needed some bricks for construction. So I dug here. It was a very deep valley, I may say. We took all the soil here where there is grass, and we made the bricks from the soil here, and we could ferry the soil that we took from the anthill to replace, to make it be plain for the children to play on. Now when people are looking at it, they can see a flat ground. They cannot imagine that there was a very, very deep hole here that I dug when we were making bricks that has helped us to have the dining hall for the children. And we moved the anthill and replaced it with the soil that we used here to make bricks for the construction of the dormitory that the children are using right now. On the right hand side is my property. That is not Petals' property, and that is where I'm living. I purchased land and put up a house so that I'm not far from school. I could be with the children throughout the night and during the day, just to provide the security, because school is a boarding school where children are living and sleeping in school. It is not like in many schools. When I was in America, I realized America don't have boarding schools, not much, because if there is, but you find most pupils are working from home. But here, they stay in school and they need somebody to give them a company at night, look into their safety, and that is why I decided, no, before somebody else come and purchase the land, I better purchase it and stay here. And that is why I bought the land and I'm living closer to school. This is the road that we are walking on, and the road was done by Richard Smith, and it is really helpful for our visitors who are coming and the children that are coming from this direction, even though there are some students that are also coming from the adjacent land where we went to look at the bricks, as far as 6 kilometers away from Petals again. You find that there are pupils that are living from those directions and they are walking in grass. They don't have a path like this to walk on. Behind the school, we have also students coming from those ends, and they also need a path like this to walk on. This has been a nightmare for children that are coming to Petals and even the teachers, and that is why I realized the need for having staff houses so that the teachers can be confined in school and other staff for Petals can have somewhere to stay so that they help the children even at night, which is really, really very needful. And this is something we cannot bypass and just go without putting in place. Actually, every person plays a very key role at Petals, and it's very, very important for any institution. Every person is very important, from the laborers, the gardensmen, the watchmen, the cooks, the teaching staff, and the teachers, administration. All these people are needed in an institution, and we cannot neglect some and say that they can travel during the day and in the evening they go back. At times it is falling very heavily, and you find that it is not conducive for the some of the staff to walk back to their homes and come back the following day in good time to help in the day-to-day running of the school. So that is why we are looking at the best way of putting most of these things that are very, very essential in place. Right next to me is our groundsman, who is called Joas Okoth. Joas Okoth is our watchman, and at the same time he helps in most of the groundwork. And he has to walk like 4 kilometers evening and in the morning, daily commuting, just to come and offer his services. And this is why we are looking for staff houses, so that our friends, our staff that are helping us can get accommodated within the school. This is very, very important. We have a posho mill, which he also helps us in grinding for the corns for the children, because after growing the maize here, we have to grind the corns, and the corns require somebody to help in operation of the posho mill. The posho mill was a self-help project that was also donated. The funds were donated to the community around here who came together and saw the sense of having a posho mill. As children are grinding corns, the community as well are also coming and are grinding on the same posho mill here, which is really very helpful to the community at large. And adjacent to the posho mill here, we have the church, we have the posho mill here, and there is a land. The land that we have, the church, was also donated by Jared Ambu. Jared has really played a very important role for the school. He donated the land where we are putting up the church, and we have the toilet constructed at the fine, and I feel this is very, very, very important, because we have from here we have the church property, we have the church. It is not attached to the posho mill. Posho mill is on a separate piece of land, and the church is on a separate piece of land. And all these are really blessing the community that we are living in, and we have to be proud of that, because if not God, then we could not realize the peace that we are experiencing here today. But because of God's love, and that is why we have the Christian Science church we here at the school. We believe it will be the third church in Kenya, because we have it currently. It is a society, but it is our prayer that in the near future we have a church put in place, and this has been our prayer all along. We have just the road adjacent from where we are, extending to the police post, and as we walk we'll get to the police post. Feel the policemen are playing a very key role to the community, because no country, no town that has ever been put in place without security. Security is a very key role for the development of a given area, and that is why we felt we could also lay our hands and help in the development of the community. So because we are part of the community, we cannot leave some things to the community alone. So that is why when we purchase the land just from the road, the land belongs to Petals. So the land on my right is still for the school, and this is where we are planning to have high school put in place, so that when we have the church, we we have the primary school, we have a high school, we have the security in place, and on my left hand is another person's property, but we talked to him and he said he's ready to grant us the land if we can buy for him the same land, the same measurement elsewhere, and then he can leave for us this land here, and this is enough for us to put up a college, because it is more than 10 acres. We feel it will be of great value to this precious development that we are planning to have in place. I planted the trees with the help of the children. These are the blue gum. We hope to have them in the future. They will be big trees and they can be helpful in the construction of any premise that we may be having in a school. If we will be putting up some more buildings, we will require timber. And I felt, okay, before it is developed or used, I should plant some trees so that in the future we will have a very good vicinity. Once you cut this tree, it will develop again and it will grow to a huge tree, just like the sycamore tree that we are seeing on our left, our right hand side. So in the future we'll have these trees grown and they will be of great help. I'm looking at 15 years from now that we are talking. So I felt we have to do something. We should not wait until when time comes, then we start asking ourselves, what can we do, where will we get the timber, or what we started now, just as we started. And then I realized the necessity, how important the trees are to any development. And even if they are not cut down, they will be providing shade for the students that will be here. And it will be also giving a very good environment, because trees also help in provision of oxygen. We get oxygen from the same trees, so they are not of any waste. That is why I saw the sense of planting trees, a lot of trees as I can, so that in the future they'll be of greater help, because many people are cutting down the trees. Desertification is taking place, and that is really very harmful for any development. And we are the first people that have to practice this for the community to take it from us, and they can exercise that. So I did this because I had planted very many trees, close to 40,000. So I like trees just as I like making bricks, and I like construction. And that is why I said, when the community saw the sense of having the policemen around, we as well donated bricks. And personally I came here, dug the foundation, brought the sand from the river, collected stone from the hill, and we started the project of putting up the police post here, just to bring the security to the people that we are having here, so that the Koreans stop seeing Luos as enemies, so that the Luos stop seeing the Koreans as enemies. But that we could not do without the help of the post that we have. Actually, with the help of the government came and provided all the materials. Most of the materials they brought to the engineer who did the construction. They purchased all the gate, they brought the iron sheets and the doors, and they paid for the labor. And I must thank our government for what they did for us. Actually, this is the gate that is entering the police post, and from the police post you can look back and see Petals. Petals is just a kilometer away from here, or some 100 meters from the police post. And I believe that with the help of our friends that are here, we'll have a very conducive atmosphere. We'll be very happy, and the community have been seeing the sense of peace, and we are really blessed to have them around. All the houses have the policemen, and I believe perhaps we can have some of them in the house. And this is a blessing that we have had. So,
welcome.
Madam, me a uniform. Yeah.
Uniform.
Just
coming.
Yeah, from here, this is the house of one of the police officers who is staying here, and it has been
Coming.
of great help. Thank you, welcome.
Yes.
So this is where they are staying. We have our police officer here who are really giving us the security as well as for the community. They are very, very important figures to have in the community, and people are seeing the sense of having them. Really, we are very grateful. I hope you can hear from him. It is a blessing to have him around. Can you say your name, and
Okay, my name is Kennedy Ochieng Ambito. I'm from Rarieda district. I'm attached to Migori district as one of the police officers, and now I serve the people around this region as I take myself as one of them, one of this community. So that gives me an easy work to do my job, to carry out my services to the people. That helps me in getting information from the people. As you have always seen, I'm friendly to the people around, so that gives them the opportunity to come for my assistance if any arises with easy time, without fear. So we are four right now. One has gone to town, and the other is went to visit the family. The other comes from afar, like Pokot. So the other guy is here. So I'm happy to have these people. They are very friendly. There is only one problem in this area, one major problem, that is the issue of cattle rustling. But it is, since I have come to this region, I have not seen any deaths arising from the thefts. So I'm grateful to God. So I'm very happy. And the other issue is we face some challenges here as the police officers, because according to the law and according to our mandate, we are supposed to be in a place where there is a market center around near the police station. We are supposed to be near a place like a school, so that we are happen to be as a public figure to the people. So all the people around should be feeling our presence. But the issue here is, and another problem is electricity, which is now not just to us but to the whole community at large. So those are some of the issues that we are praying that one day the government shall see how to do all it. Thank you very much, and you're much welcome anytime, any day you feel like.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, officer. Actually, it has been a blessing having them around. They are very, very, very accommodative, and the community around have been realizing their presence, just as you have heard from himself. They have been really giving us easy work, And the community at large have been very grateful. Before they came here, people have been losing their lives. You remember yesterday when we were at the testimony meetings, I shared with you, this was a battling ground. That is why very many people migrated from the land. And most people could be killed. Before they came, that is actually forced the government to see that we have the post put in place. Most of the people were killed and they were brought just behind the school there. 4 people one night gunned down when the cattle rustling took place, and those people left orphans. All those now is a burden to the community because they were the breadwinners. And once you lose people at a time like that, that follows several instances where people have been killed by arrows, by spears, and that forced people to leave, vacate the land. And that is why you can see no many
And
homes
sometimes
around.
they used to come with guns.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually,
people around. So,
because they are having very good machines they come with. So without the guns that are given by the government, it would not be easy to curb that kind of activity. And that is why we are happy today when we have our friends around here to safeguard the community as well as the school that we have around here. It has been really a blessing. Outside here, you feel you can see a mother, a Korean lady, who has just come for water. Actually, we were Mama Suspita, jump. But a lady has just come for water, and we realized when we were doing the construction of the house and to dig some soil here that we were using to maran the house, to maran the block, and we realized water is just coming out here, and you can see just a very clean water that when it is properly drilled and perhaps constructed, you'll find that the officers here will be having very clean water to use, because
this is how we get the water we use, like washing utensils.
So if they want drinking water, they are forced to move to Petals to collect water from the school. And these are some of the challenges that you find people are facing in an environment like this. It is my humble prayer that if this water could be dug and constructed the way we did the other ones that we have seen down there, it would be so helpful and even improve the morale of the staff that are here and help even the community, because we realize that they are not the only people that are using water. The Koreans could come all the way to school to collect water from school. The Luos that are coming from down could walk to school and collect water from the school. And we realized, oh, this water, when we were just taking the gravel to make the house, and then God provided water. And I said, we cannot close it. Oh, just as we were talking, another officer has just arrived. Officer, morning. Yeah. So, we have managed to have the 2 of the officers around here, and this is very important. And because we realize the challenge of the community, the Luos and the Koreans have been realizing war over the years, very much. But the impact of the officers around here has really reduced that fighting down, and the creation of school has really contributed much. The conflict that has been arising from here, this is the Gochoni Hill. This hill is where Petals got its name of Gochoni. We have Gochoni AP post for the police. The station that is here is also named after the hill. The hill is what we call Ngochoni Hill. So Petals, that's why we have Ngochoni, Petals of Africa. It was named after the hill. So if you could go on top of the hill, the other side you'll find another Ngochoni. But that is a public primary school for the Kuria. But we have another Ngochoni on the right hand side from where we are. But all that, God knew why He placed the area. Perhaps it was there to actually come and transform the area. Because today we can have the Ngochoni Primary School, we have the Ngochoni Petals of Africa School, and we have Ngochoni AP Post. That was not in imagination, but we thank God today we can have them around. We have Ngochoni Christian Science Society. Actually, all that is named after the same hill. So there must have been a significant, you can see in having that hill put there. We did not put the hill, but it had some impact. So whenever you talk of Ngochoni, people will always think of the hill that is just behind us here. And we are very grateful because we realize some of the officers are not there, but we managed to get to. So it becomes a reality whenever we are talking of the security, we can see that actually they are in place and they are ready to help whenever there is need. We must be very, very grateful, and we must say God has really worked in a miraculous way that we could not imagine now. We are very, very thankful.